Fair use. Fair use. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shalom, shalom, family. On this episode, I want to discuss this interview I came across. An interview that Ray J did. This was a while back, some years back, but I'm just catching wind of it. And the interview was very, very. It piqued my interest into, was Whitney Houston's death more than what they say it is? Was it more to it? Was it a drug overdose, or was it more to it? This interview with Ray J is, I may be late to it because I'm just catching wind of it. But it's like, wow, it really makes you ask some questions as to what's really going on in that industry. What's really going on in the music industry. Let's jump right into it. So Ray J right here says that when he got with Whitney Houston, it was around the same time of him and Kim K being together, and the whole thing with their tape and everything. And he's saying they like this was orchestrated. This relationship with Whitney Houston, it was orchestrated. It was planned. It was some type of strategic move. It wasn't. They didn't come together organically. It wasn't authentic. It was like a plot and scheme type of relationship when he started dating Whitney Houston. But why is that? Why is that? I always believe that a lot of these celebrity relationships aren't authentic. These people don't organically come together and become a couple. It's some type of strategic move. People are putting these quote unquote couples together. They're matchmaking. But what's the reason that whoever they are decided to put Ray J with Whitney Houston? Why? Let's continue. Now Ray J says at this point, while he's dating Whitney Houston, he's telling the interviewer he could have reconstructed his career. He could have rebranded himself and, reconstructed his career, and, because he's now dating Whitney Houston. But he says people were kind of turned off because Whitney was a little bigger. She was older at this time, and her image wasn't that solid. And the interviewer says to Ray J, you could have been that guy to help turn her around, to help get her right. But then if you listen, Ray J says, but I would to really have to be with her though. He says, but I would have had to be with her though. But aren't you dating her? You two are together. So what is Ray J implying that he would have had to be with her though? So what I'm getting from it is he wasn't with her because he really wanted to be with her. It wasn't genuine. It was some motive behind it. It was people putting him up to this. But why? But why? The interviewer says you could have been the guy to help turn her around. And Ray J says, but I would have had to be with her though. So he would have had to genuinely be interested in really getting Whitney right. He would have had to be genuinely in this relationship with Whitney because he really wants to be there. So the reason he can't be that guy to get her right is because being with her was some type of strategic move by whoever they are, who put him up to positioning himself to date Whitney Houston. But why? But why? Let's continue. Wow. Wow. So every day you was with Whitney. Every day you was with her. But you was not happy. Now, what person intentionally gets into a relationship with someone and sticks around with that person every day, but they are not happy, right? And you can even hear it in his voice that it was like he was forced to be there. He was forced to be there. He didn't really want to be there with Whitney. He didn't want to be with Whitney at all. He was unhappy every day. He was not happy at all. These are his words. He was on top of the world at this point. With the whole tape that him and Kim K put out, he was on top of the world as this bad boy, this player, this Mac. But for some reason, He was forced into this relationship with Whitney, and he was not happy. He was shaking hands with the elite. This is what he's saying. At this point, when he was with Whitney, he was shaking hands with all the higher ups. He was rubbing shoulders with all the right people. But he was not happy. Yet you with Whitney every day, but you're not happy. And at the same time, you're shaking hands with all these elite people in higher positions. And he says Whitney was yearning for more. Whitney was yearning to be loved. Whitney wanted to be loved. Whitney thought that you was that guy. You was that guy that was going to really come into her life and love her. So you're unhappy every day. And you know this woman is yearning for love. Yet you continue because it's something that you have to accomplish. Is a reason you was put in this position to date Whitney. It's something that you have to accomplish. Allegedly, for these elite people. And Whitney don't even know she's being played. She don't even know she's being lined up. She don't even know, allegedly, that she's being put on an altar for sacrifice. Allegedly. Let's continue. Wow. He didn't want to sell his soul for that. He didn't want to sell his soul for that. What is the that? What is he talking about? He says, knowing that I'm playing her mind a little bit. Knowing that he's playing her. He didn't want to sell his soul for that. What is that? What did these elite people want him to do? What's really going on here? He just admitted out of his mouth that he's playing Whitney. He's playing her. He didn't want to sell his soul for that. What is it? What is the that? What is the that? Why are you with Whitney? Why are you playing her? Why are you playing these mind games with her? Why you love bombing her? Why you putting this spell over her? Why you leading her to the slaughter? Who put Ray J up to this? And why? He didn't want to sell his soul for that. What was that? Let's continue. Man, what's really going on here? What's really going on here? What really went on with Ray J and Whitney Houston? What was really going on? What in the world is Ray J talking about? This sound like some ID channel type. This just sounds very eerie. It sounds very eerie. Towards the end, the interviewer says, "Do you know what Whitney could be if she was clean? Is she clean? Meaning, is she off drugs? Is she sober?" Ray J says, "Absolutely." Until then he pauses, and then he says, "If I want her to be." What? The interviewer says, "Do you know what Whitney could be if she was clean? Is she clean?" Ray J says, "Absolutely." Until then there's a pause, and he says, "If I want her to be." If I want her to be. So if he want Whitney drugged up, high, out of her mind, he can make that happen. He said, "If I want her to be." The interviewer says, "Do you know what Whitney could be if she was clean? Is she clean?" Ray J says, "Absolutely." Until, and then he pauses. And in this eerie, creepy, dark tone, Ray J says, "If I want her to be." Wow. 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 What really went on? Who are these people? Who are these elite people that mastermind that relationship? Ray J said he was unhappy every day being with Whitney. Who put him up to being with her? What was the motive behind that? What was he supposed to accomplish with being with Whitney? In his own words, he said he was playing. He was playing little mind games with her. He was using her. He was unhappy every day. He was shaking hands and rubbing shoulders with all these people in high places when he was with Whitney. He says, "Yeah, she can be clean if I want her to be." Did Ray J lead Whitney Houston to the slaughter? Was Whitney put on the altar of sacrifice? What's really going on? What's really going on? This is something else. This is really something else. And I was also watching some old interviews and some recent interviews that Bobby Brown's sister did, where she's alleging that there indeed was foul play with the death behind Whitney Houston. So what's really going on? Did Whitney Houston really die of a drug overdose? Did she really die of a drug overdose? Did she place herself in that bathtub? What's the bigger picture? What really happened? How does Whitney Houston and her daughter die in the same way, in the same manner? Who offered up the sacrifice is what I'm asking. I may be late to it, but everything that happens in the dark will come to light. It will come to light. And this further shines a light on how evil and wicked and demonic the music industry really is. Who put Whitney Houston on an altar for sacrifice? Ray J didn't genuinely want to be with her. He was unhappy with Whitney. Why was he there? Why was he there? Why was he with her if he was unhappy? What's really going on? Y'all can let me know how y'all feel about it down in the comments. Maybe y'all been knew about this. Y'all been knew about, the whole certain people who were close to Whitney questioning her death and really suspicious about what really went on. I'm just getting into all of this. Maybe y'all know a little more than me. Y'all can fill me in on what y'all know. But it definitely shines a light on how evil, wicked, and demonic the music industry is. Who put Whitney up on an altar for sacrifice? But anyway, thank you, family, for joining me. Thank you for your time. Always thank you for your love and your support. Please make sure you like this video, share it. If you're not already subscribed, please sure you subscribe. Appreciate you. Peace, blessings, and love. Shalom, shalom.